Once you know where you stand, you have to make a decision. When you look at those numbers, what you have versus what you owe, how much runway you have, one of two things will be true. It's either there's something here worth fighting for, I can turn this around, or in the last video, I told you that it is possible to turn your bookstore around. I showed you my story, how we went from 7 struggling outlets with unpredictable revenue and chaotic operations to 16 profitable locations. And if you commented, it is possible, I want you to know that I see you and you're not alone. I know how it is to be in a survival mode. Now you're probably asking, okay, but what's the actual method? That's what this video is about. I'm going to show you the roadmap, the full journey of what start over actually looks like. Because before you dive into the work, you need to see where you're going. This roadmap only works if you see all the pieces. Video 3 through 8 are coming, and you don't want to miss a single step. When I say start over, I don't mean close your store and reopen. I mean rebuild your foundation while you're still operating. At ABC, when we were in the warning zone, we could see where we were headed. 18, probably 24 months at the most. If nothing changed, we would shut down. So we didn't have the luxury of closing our stores and fixing things. We had to reinvent ourselves with the doors still open, customers still coming in, and bills still due. And here's what that looked like. It started with getting brutally honest about where we stood, then making a conscious decision. Are we closing or are we fighting? And if we're fighting, we're not patching the old system. We're building something new. That is starting over. And in the videos that follow, I'm going to walk you through every step of how we did it. But first, let me show you the roadmap. Step 1 starts by knowing exactly where you stand, not where you hope you are or not where you think you should be. This will mean counting everything that you have, every book, every asset, every product, and listing everything that you owe, every debt, every obligation, so that you will know your assets and your liabilities. At ABC, when we did this across all the 7 outlets, it was tedious. It took weeks, and yeah, it was really frustrating, but it gave us clarity. We discovered that we lost so much money, but at least we knew where we stood. We could see our picture, our assets versus our liabilities, and we were able to calculate our runway. So you can't make a good decision without knowing where you stand. And that's the first step you need to take. And in the next video, video number 3 of the series, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this while your store is open, while you're operating. Nothing changes. You're doing it in the background and you're operating as usual because you can't afford to close. That's the first piece. Step number 2, once you know where you stand, you have to make a decision. When you look at those numbers, what you have versus what you owe, how much runway you have, one of two things will be true. It's either there's something here worth fighting for, I can turn this around, or it's time to close with dignity instead of waiting until you have no options left. Now, I want you to know that both answers are valid. What's not okay is continuing without knowing which one of the two is true. At ABC, when we saw the numbers, we decided we're fighting. We're starting over. But it had to be a conscious decision, not just drifting and hoping things would be some would somehow get better. That's what I need you to do after you count your inventory. Look at the picture, calculate your runway, then decide, are you closing or are you starting over? If you're starting over, everything that comes next depends on that